this demo, we will show you how to connect your Google BigQuery instance to PuppyGraph so that you can query your SQL-based data as a graph without a graph database or ETL. As you can see, I currently have a BigQuery instance up and running on Google Cloud. Let's quickly log into our BigQuery instance and take a look at what tables and data are currently residing inside of it. Listing out the tables, we can see that I'm looking at a financial data set that revolves around accounts, investments, and the people and companies that own them. By doing a quick select on the accounts table, we can see that I have 637 accounts within this data set. Now, let's pull the data for some of those accounts and limit it to the top 10 in the results set. Here we can see details for this particular table, including some demo data. Now, what if we wanted to simplify complex queries by using a graph query language against this data? That is where PuppyGraph comes in. First, we'll log into PuppyGraph, and then I'll show you how you can use the intuitive Create Graph Schema UI to assist you with schema creation. Let's quickly look at how we would begin to create the schema using the UI. First, we'll put in the details of our BigQuery catalog so that we can connect to it. Then once connected, we will add a vertex for accounts. Then we'll add another vertex for companies. And next, we'll add an edge for account transfer account to connect the accounts that have been interacting with each other through transfers. Then, to connect a company to an account, we will add in an edge for company own account. Then we can see in the preview what the start of our schema looks like. To expedite things, we'll upload our schema in JSON format, which will allow us to map the SQL data into corresponding nodes and edges. Then we'll upload the schema to the server. Once processed, we can see a visualization of the schema as well as a JSON representation of it for further inspection. This will show you the catalogs, where the data resides, and which data has been mapped into the graph schema. By clicking on Dashboards, you can see that we have some saved queries and their displayed results set. Data here can easily be displayed as text, a table, or a graph visualization, and it's a great place to save useful queries that you may want to revisit. Next, by clicking on Query, we can then run ad hoc graph queries in both Gremlin and Cypher right on the PuppyGraph platform. Depending on the data returned, the UI will either display it as text or as a graph visualization that you can explore as well. Flipping between Cypher and Gremlin query language is as simple as toggling the selector at the top of the window. As an example, this Gremlin query calculates the total count, sum of amounts, and maximum single amount for both incoming and outgoing account transfer account transfers related to a specific account that occurred between January 1st, 2020 and December 31st, 2023. When a result is returned as a graph visualization, you can hover and click on the interactive interface and change the layout of the graph visualization. For example, here we can change this visualization from a radial layout to a vertical one for easier navigation. Now let's flip back to Gremlin and run a query that shows people who own an account and return paths that start from them and follow exactly 5 transfers between accounts. Lastly, we can also query this data using a graph notebook. Once loaded, we can run queries within the notebook against PuppyGraph, allowing us to query the SQL data as a graph without using any graph database. For more information on how you can use PuppyGraph to deliver graph capabilities on top of your Google BigQuery instance with no ETL or graph database required, visit www.puppygraph.com.